and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to talk about another SailfishOS topic, which will be, in this case, SailfishOS MicroG. So MicroG doesn't have to do anything with SailfishOS itself, but it's something that you might want to install, and we are going to talk about when you should do that, or if you should do that, and how to get it, of course. So in the end, as you all know, SailfishOS is an independent operation system, more or less, for smartphones, which is not using Google services or something like that. And like that, some of the apps which can be run on the SailfishOS device, if you are using the paid version at least with Alien Delric, then you are going to get Android apps installed on them and stuff like that. And you can not only run the SailfishOS native apps, but you can run Android apps on SailfishOS too. And in the end, most of the Android apps do not need the Google services or something like that. And so you can run them and work with them and everything is fine. Especially since UI and stuff like that, those manufacturers are sometimes getting no longer allowed to use Google services or something like that. Especially since that time, most apps don't need any Google services installed anymore. But some do. And if those are, for instance, for you very important, for instance, you want to install Google Maps itself or something like that, or you want to, for instance, install maybe Netflix or something, I'm not sure. There are a couple of them. I tested a lot of them, and most of the apps did work without it. But if you want to have a look at that video there, then you are going to see that there are a couple of Android apps, I think 2 of the 10 I tested or something, which had a problem. And yeah, to solve that, there is this option to install MicroG. MicroG is something that is going to be installed on your smartphone then, and it's going to emulate, so it's not really installing Google services or something, but it's going to emulate Google services for the apps, and like that you are going to be able to, more or less run close to everything then with it. And so let's have a look at the MicroG web page for that. So I'm going to go here, and as you can see, it's more or less a re-implementation of Google's proprietary Android user spaces and libraries. So in the end, it's going to emulate for the app that you are going to have, for instance, information from Google Maps, or for instance, something like it's going to more or less fake that there is a store from Google on your smartphone, even so you don't want that. And so in the end, the Google app, the Play Store itself, isn't going to be installed on your smartphone, but the apps are thinking it is, and so they are giving you the permission to go through. Only a few apps do that, and I find it a little bit fishy if they do that. But in the end, they are going to check it, and sometimes they are giving you a really hard time, or even hard locks the app, for instance. And for all those situations, this might be a good at least a try to get rid of that. Okay, so as you can see, a project that's going to emulate Google's libraries, and in the end, if we're going down here, it's a pretty official one, as you can see already here. So it's even by the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research. It's funded for that and by that. And so, for instance, as you can see, there are a couple of different core components here that you can install. One is the Google Maps and the service core part. This is the most important one. You might want to use that if you need it. And other than that, there is, for instance, the store one, which is going to really fake the store and stuff like that. So how to get this? There are a couple of different ways to do that. The easiest one is, if I go to the download button here, I can see that. The easiest one is an F-Droid repository, which is pretty nice, because then it's going to be updated all the time, because of course this is a rapid development part. Not that it's not functional or something, but it's really updated a lot of times, because of course Google is updating their services too, so they have to keep up with that more or less. And in this case, we are going to have a look at my Sony Xperia 10 Mark II in this case. It's not my daily driver, but it's running the latest version of SailfishOS, and we are going to install F-Droid on it for you, because yeah, on this one I already have the daily driver this is the Mark III in this case. I already have it installed there. So we are going to have a look at this one. There is the F-Droid one not installed till now, so we are going to install F-Droid on it, and then we are going to get this repository to the F-Droid store there, and I will show you how to download everything. So, to do that, of course, I have my screen capture or screen share functionality here open already. So give me 1 sec, put it into full screen mode, and yeah, as you can see, we have a more or less running representation of my smartphone screen on the big screen here. It's a little bit laggy, especially on this phone, because the phone is a little bit slower than, for instance, my Mark III in this case. But we are going to use this, and you should be able to see everything. The lagging that is appearing on the big screen here is not the smartphone itself in general, but it's more often the screen capture technology we are using here called screencast. So in the end, I'm going to try to hold it like this so you can see the real performance on the smartphone screen here, and this is just for better readability and stuff like that. So first off, how to get the F-Droid store. If you don't already have it installed, go to your Jolla store. For me it's in the folder, but for you it probably would be at the first part here if you are new to SailfishOS at least. And if you go in there and click on the Jolla store, wait a little till the Jolla store is up, and at the start there are a couple of different informations which are checked. For instance, are there updates and stuff like that, so it takes a little. After that you just go into the search mode by dragging down, and now just put in draw it. Come on, now. So this should be that. Hit enter, there it is. We have already the entry there, click on it. And as you can see, it's going to tell me I already installed it. It's not really the case, but I'm going to do an uninstall, so he is going to see that it's not installed at the moment. I think there are a couple of different options to install the F-Droid part, and so it's a little bit hard to say if it's really uninstalled already or not, but we will do that. I will go in here. As you can see, now it's not installed, and I can install it again by dragging down. There we go. Give it a sec. So he's telling me to wait. He's not downloading everything there, at least after a while. There we are. And when it's downloaded, it's going to be installed. And F-Droid is a pretty nice one because you should already have it on your smartphone. If you don't have it, I'm installing it with you at the moment. But you really should have it on your smartphone because it's going to give you access to a lot of different Android open source apps. So it's not like something in the Play Store or something, but it's going to be open source, so no Google services and stuff like that involved. This is one of the reasons why you can easily install it here too. And if we go there, you can already see we have it. He's going to do a refresh, which might take a little while. So all the different packages possibilities in there will be shown here too. It might be that even, for instance, the F-Droid application itself needs an update, because if it's coming from the Jolla store, it's not the newest version. Maybe we will see. But this is just how it's done. And as you can see, it takes a little because we have a lot of different package resources which I loaded in. Here you can see what's going on there. We have about 3,500 and 4,065 need to be refreshed, but that is done now. And as you can see, we have now the whole part here. There is a new a new update for F-Droid in this case, so we are going to go to our part here, and of course you can then just give it a try. Wait a little. Of course the app itself has to close down because it's an app that is going to be updated, but after a while we should have a running version then. Of course the other version before that was running too, but now it's the newest one if it's going to be then ready to be used. Give it just a little. F-Droid itself, as mentioned before, is hosting a lot of open source Android apps, so you need of course to install F-Droid and other applications like that Alien Derwick. If you... Come on. Doing something? I'm not sure about that. Not what I wanted him to do, at least. Okay, it seems like the start screen was for some reason gone there, but now it seems to be there again. At least it looked like this. Yeah. Okay, so whatever happened there, in the end we got it running now, and as you can see we have now the application running. We can now go to search, for instance, but the problem is you are probably not going to find MicroG by itself for now, but you will see. Yeah, as you can see, there's no real MicroG information here. Those apps are, for instance, telling you, hey, install MicroG, it will work with it or something like that, but at the moment it's not. And for that, to be able to use that, we have to go to the MicroG project, go to the download version of the website, and click on this link. For that, just long click on it. As you can see, there are a couple of different informations in there. We can just copy that then. Yeah, it has two options. We can do the fingerprinting ourselves. We can even go with an QR code on a website. I'm not sure how to get that into my project or doing that, interpreting that. I'm not sure. Can I interpret that? I'm not sure. No, probably not. In the end, what we are going to do now is we are going back to our application here. So in this case, F-Droid. Go out of the search part here, and I'm going to go to the settings down below here. If I do that, there is a package sources, and as you can see, there are a couple of them. Only F-Droid is active at the moment, and what we want to do is we want to add a new one. Click on that, and the new version of this is going to interpret the copied link already, so everything should be fine for you there. And now just click on add. Now it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it takes pretty long. I'm not sure if the website is sometimes a little bit overwhelmed or something, but as you can see, now we have this in there. It has this little icon where we can activate it and stuff like that, so it's like that. At the moment it's unchecked or whatever, not the icon itself, but it's telling us that it's not more or less proven or whatever to be something, but that is fine for now. And then we can go to our, what is this? Okay, we could install it again. I'm not going to at the moment, but now we can go to this and search again. And if we do that again, we might already see more, but if not, that's fine too. Yes, there it is. MicroG Service Core re-implementation of Play Stores. If you can now click on that and have a look at that. And as you already can see, you can click on install to get it installed here. It's free software. It has a little bit of this is a warning which is given by F-Droid. So if the app is doing something that it shouldn't do in general to be open source compatible, or better to say SFOS compatible thing, then it's going to give you some information about that with this. So if we click there, we can see, okay, this application is more or less giving us or proprietary, let's say proprietary network services or something will be used in this case. Okay, it's what you have to cope with in this case, but we want to install it, so just click on that, give it a little. Takes a little to install that then. There we go. We have a package which is 65 MB large, and it takes a long time because it's pretty slow. But in the end, it's not about the wireless LAN or something, the Wi-Fi. It's really just about the MicroG website, I think at least. It's really not the fastest one. But yeah, just keep it somewhere where it can run through, and after a while it should be installed. It's just really slow at the moment. Sorry for that. I probably will just put my smartphone aside and we will see us in a little bit of time when this is done. Hopefully it's going to be faster than what I can see here at the moment, but we will see. Okay, so see you. Okay, and this really took us a couple of hours, really. I would have not expected it to be that long, but still, it worked out. Now we got this screen, so we can install the app now. Click on install. Since we have already given the permission to install third-party apps from other places, but the one from the stores we install, we have now the ability to install it. Seems like it was installed, I hope it did. We can see that if we go down here, and there we are. We have a new icon which is called MicroG settings in this case. If I click on that, you can see that we have a couple of different options here now which can help us with more stuff. For instance, you could even install your own Google account. I wouldn't do that in general because yeah, why did we install it like this, and why didn't we want to be spied on and stuff like this? Because they should not know who we are and stuff like that. So this is something, I'm not going to activate anything of that, but we can have this the self try out more or less, which is giving us the information, hey, system does use signature spoofing, which is more or less it, and this means we can now use MicroG for this. In general, this is the core now we have installed, so Microsoft MicroG Service Core with a certain version number. If you want to use, for instance, Maps itself, so you could now install Google Maps if you wanted to, for instance, and if you wanted to do that, you would probably have to install more than just this standard module. I'm not going to do this in this video, but as you can see, if we go back here to our store we downloaded it from, there are a couple of different other ones down below. If you are going down, you see here are a couple of different other services, and of course you could go to the website itself to install them too. But if you really want to use everything, then just go through this. It's more or less, I would say, the 4 ones down below. Don't install the legacy one, you don't need that. Probably you would like to install the service framework proxy for Google Maps. I think you need this one, for instance. But just have a look here. Maybe Fake Store is something you would like to do too, because this is more or less installing the store then, and so on and so forth. But by installing the core, you should be able to do that. And I think I will install the Fake Store. And let's see what else is there. I'm not sure if this will take as long as before. I'm not sure. Let's see. Not really. This one was pretty much instant, so only the core one was really heavy to install. The others seem to be much faster as it seems. And like this, you are going to have the option to do more than just with this core, and you have now a fake store installed into your Android system. So in the end, in Sailfish, it's like this is the Sailfish OS system. You are not going to see much of that what you installed here, because in the end this is a Sailfish OS part, and if there is something installed into the system of the Alien Dalvik one, you have to go to the Alien Dalvik one and see what is going on there. You can do that by going to the settings of your Sailfish OS part. I'm going to go back, and then you can, for instance, go and have a look at, where is it, Android app support at this part. If you are hitting, for instance, a couple of times the version number, you see this more or less the settings of your Android internal one. As you can see, this is the Xperia 10 Mark II in this case. You can have a look at this point, and you can see what is going on here. And for instance, you can have a look at this and see, for instance, the apps in this part here. As you can see, there's MicroG services and stuff like that. And you can have a look at all the different apps which are on your Android system in here. So those are the apps I installed from the Android system, or at least which are in the Android system. I'm, for instance, not using the camera. I think it's one that is just there by default. I'm not sure about that, but these are the Android apps I installed for this. A couple of different stores, as you can see. There is CoughPass, so COVID app, Discord, a DJI app for having a look at my drone and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. There is Fake Store. As you can see, Fake Store is installed on this device. Yeah, and this is more or less what you can do and how you can do it with the installer here from the MicroG project. As mentioned before, there are a couple of different other repertories which you can install, for instance, the Service Framework proxy, the store, the Fake Store and stuff like that, and some other stuff you might want to install here. And if you are through with that, then it's very likely that more apps will work for you, because those which are reliant on, or better to say, most are not even reliant on, but which are checking for the Google services, are now covered with this MicroG project installation too. And yeah, just try it out. This is more or less a little bit deeper topic, I would say, but in the end, this is what I wanted to show you in this episode. I hope you had fun with it. Hope that it is going to help you in some situations. And other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a great one. We see us in the next episode of Continuum Gaming. Until then, thanks and bye.